All right, this is what we got. You gotta make sure you like it.
I don't.
What?
You know, that's what you asked for, so that's what you got.
What you got?
It's the metal, man.
Want me to look at it?
It's watching out.
Probably got a scratch on your eyeball now, though.
This reaction video, sponsored by Nationwide Industries, but Nationwide Industries is more than just a sponsor. I legitimately enjoy doing business with them, both with the Cornerstone 2 hinges and the Trident latch that we use on our pool gates, or on their full line of chain link hardware. They're great people to work with. I appreciate them a lot. If you're looking for a supplier, you should check them out too. All right, guys, today's video is titled, "This No-Dig Aluminum Fence is 10 times stronger than it should be," from our good friends over at SWI Fence. Now, before we get into this, I feel like I should preface this by saying this is showing a product, an I-beam post, that my company, Ozark Fence Company, is partners in with SWI as well as Mr. Fence, Sean King. So make sure this is abundantly clear. Now, this is a really good demonstration. I've actually cheated a little bit. I've already seen this video, but I thought it was a video that you guys would like to see and that I would like to weigh in on. So without further ado, the video.
So yeah, if we got a level. You got off the truck without a level?
I did.
Clay?
I know. And
Clay?
I don't even have my hook on me. Let me.
You better get your hook. Get your hook, Clay.
Wasted steps, waste money. You gotta make sure you got all your stuff with you. So this is pretty common as far as driving posts go, right? So it's a gas-powered driver. You could install it with 2 people. They've got 3 there. Putting your foot there at the bottom and standing it up with the pounder already on it is definitely the preferred method there. And then now he's going to plumb it up and send it home. Now, I get incredibly jealous every time I watch someone in great dirt drive a post because these things just absolutely sink. Fortunately, here in the Ozarks, we breed rocks here apparently. So
now we're just going to drive it. Go ahead.
Look at that.
How much fill are you wanting to bring in here?
I figure we'll probably at least have to do that much.
So, I mean, we can't really keep it, we can keep it flat. Keeping it level would mean we'd have to be up here even higher.
So that's an important conversation to have with the homeowner is flat versus level, right? Because some homeowners will say, hey, I just want the top to be flat. What they mean is they want it to be level. Flat being just a consistent grade. My interpretation of flat would be a consistent grade, but making sure you and the homeowner are on the same page as to what these words mean and exactly how they're wanting the top line to look.
To kind of flatten this whole thing out, this is about where we would be. 2 inches below this would be the bottom of your fence panels. Because that's what we have to do to get it flat and keep it all the way across there. This is our high point right here that we're trying to miss. So you can see down here, we'd be about 2 inches above the ground, and then it dives off real bad again on this end. Clear up here would be where your 48-inch tall fence would be. Are you wanting to kind of blend it in? Because we can roll the fence, that's not a problem, we do that all the time. It'll just basically arc to the contour of the ground, and then you won't have any gaps. A beautifully rolled fence, one that's artfully done, looks really good.
So much better.
You know, we get a lot of people that really think they want a flat fence until they see what it's going to look like and how big the gap is going to be, and they're like, okay, yeah, it was a lot. It was a lot. You know, that's why it's good to show people, is because they're like, well, that's what I want, and then you show them, okay, maybe not.
I think people in general have a hard time visualizing until they can see some landmarks. So good on Mark for helping the customer actually visualize, make sure that's exactly what they want before going on. Some companies may have just heard the customer say, hey, I want it flat, installed it flat, and told the customer,
You know, that's what you asked for, so that's what you got.
I like the jig. Mr. Fence has a really nice professional, of course, it's blue, jig that a lot of people are using to make sure they're able to get their fence panels exactly proportionally spaced. Now, there's other people that make them as well. If I'm buying one, I would probably check out the one by Mr. Fence.
I was today years old when I knew that thing lived right there. When I learned that thing lived there, I had no idea. I just would have gone to my truck, got the wrench, and moved on. I feel so stupid.
Oh, I feel so stupid.
It's kind of like when you're chucking a drill, you're supposed to tighten it down all the way and then back it off 1 click, and that locks the bit in there.
Wait, what?
I didn't know that until like 8 months ago. This is crazy stuff.
Does your bit stay better now? Do you do it?
Yes, it works. 100% works. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Never heard that.
I'm going to have to try this. So you tighten it down all the way, back it off, and it locks it in there. I don't know that I've ever heard this. Mark's saying it, so I trust it. but I've never heard about it. Have you guys heard about anything like this? And how does that magic work? Let me know in the comments below.
What you got?
Some metal, maybe.
Want me to look at it?
It's washing out. It needs some...
Probably got a scratch on your eyeball now, though.
Woo.
Hey, remember what I said about eyeglasses?
It's real. You always want to wear all your protective equipment. And that's, listen, I understand I've been guilty of not doing that in videos, and I've been called out for it. But you see an instance like this, and it really hits home why having all your personal protective equipment is essential.
Let's just do the tops all the way down first. That way we can adjust the height. If we do the bottoms now, then we can't adjust height. So here in just a second, you'll see the roll. We'll trim these panels and we'll let you see how it can roll. So we need to measure this one. It should end up being like 2 pickets we cut off of this one to miss those roots.
So this is the patented process here, where your aluminum post, your outer post, slides up the aluminum post. The rail is inserted in both sides, and then the post is lowered and secured. That's the patented process.
We'll adjust the height in a second, but that is another beautiful part of this, is that we don't have to worry about that right now. We can worry about that later. It'll screw into the I-beams so that when it's all done and all these screws run into the I-beams, you can't pull it up, you can't pull it down, you can't do anything, and it'll lock it all into place.
So that is the nice thing about the I-beam fitting snugly in the post, is once it's attached, it's done. There's other ways of installing no-dig aluminum fences, or no-dig fences in general, which would take a round post, drive it into the ground, and then take a donut, or some of them are donuts, some of them are just space fillers, but they would slide over the round post to fill the void or fill the gap between the post and the either vinyl or aluminum post. The problem is, over time, those can wiggle. They can get out of true from that post. With the I-beam, there is no room for that to move. The I-beam takes up the entire inside portion of that square post to make sure that once you've got true set on this fence post, on these I-beam posts, it's not wiggling. For better or worse, it will not be moving in the future.
The first thing we do whenever we get ready to put a gate in, this is what I tell everybody, before you even think about setting a gate post, we want to know how far apart to set them so that we've got the right dimension.
I see some Nationwide hardware sitting there. We really do like the Nationwide hardware. We liked them even before they were a sponsor. If you watch the channel, you know exactly the rigorous testing they put these things through, that the hinges go through million cycle testing, that sort of thing. They've got the million cycle warranty on them. Nationwide hardware is pretty good stuff. We like using it. And we thank them for sponsoring the reviews.
Can you see kind of what's happening here without a whole lot of work? We've actually established a line that the customer wanted. And then I see that this post is a little out. And this one's a little out. I don't know if this is tough. Can you do this with your fence?
I'd like to see somebody do that with an aluminum fence that doesn't have a stiffener or an I-beam inside of it. And Mark would be resting on his backside, I do believe.
All right, this is what we got. You got to make sure you like it.
I don't.
What?
Hey, that's not funny.
Don't do that. Don't do that to me.
That's kind of what you're after. So we got flat all the way up to the tree, and then we just roll it off, tie it in. Whoa, who'd have thought? Is that gonna work for you? Yeah. So this will be your fill, and then we'll just go straight from here right up to your screened-in porch. I like it. So
Yeah, no,
before we screw it all off and get it set to height, then we just want to make sure it's good with you. So
yeah.
Again, always important to make sure the customer buys in throughout the entire process, because it would have been a massive pain to pull all of the screws out and readjust height as needed. So again, bravo, Mark.
Now, I don't know many people that think this looks amazing. What we're going to do is we're going to rack this gate, even though it's already solid welded aluminum. Just so you're aware, we've got about 3 inches here. That's probably pretty close to the maximum I want to try, because if you do try to rack these much more than that, you could risk breaking welds, bending pickets, and what you'll see is you'll get an arch in this top rail a little bit.
Yeah, that's the tough spot with aluminum gates, unless you can weld aluminum, is that once they're ordered, they're all pretty much flat. You can't really order them with a lot of slope. And on this job, being a one-day install, Mark probably didn't know exactly where that gate was going anyway. So racking is definitely the best choice here, but he's right. You got to be careful with the aluminum gates that you're racking, or else you'll get a bow in that top rail, well, in all the rails.
So this looks pretty good right here, but we got to go past because what we're going to have happen is it'll spring.
Yeah, it's going to want to go back to its last position,
boom.
so it's going to
Just
fall
like
back
that.
a little bit. Look at
Never
that.
activate. And now you can see clearly why we hang off the low post, because it starts off closer here, and as we open, it gets further away since the ground slopes this way. Had we hinged it on that side, we could run the risk of hitting the ground trying to swing it this way. So, okay, I like it. You guys like it? I like it. Okay,
My work here is done.
I'm done. My work here's done.
All right, guys, let me know what you think about the no-dig aluminum fence system. I think it's a great idea, which is why as soon as Mark brought it to me and we talked about it, I said I've got to get involved with this. I think it's going to change how aluminum fence is installed here in the United States. For more information on the post, we'll include the link in the description below. For now, I'm Joe Everest, the fence expert, reminding you that good fences make good neighbors. I'll see you next time.